Well, this is a bit of a timing issue and also a little bit of irony. California Senate has advanced a package of gun control bills in the wake of the mass shooting that we've been speaking about the whole show. Among the bills is one that seems to replicate the Texas abortion law, which deputizes private citizens to turn others in. So this is the new law of the land. Hope everybody's happy. The California rule would allow private citizens to sue anyone who manufactures, distributes, or sells the so-called assault weapons, ghost guns, parts of ghost guns in the state, and it would provide an incentive to people to do so, just like the Texas law does. Since Texas's abortion law took effect, at least a dozen states have introduced copycat laws to limit abortion in their state. But local scholars and Supreme Court justices identified that the mechanisms would likely be employed beyond abortion, and that's what we're seeing now.
There'll be much less of this than the abortion turn-in.
Well, it was funny because remember a few weeks ago, maybe it was even longer now, I did a story about how not the NRA, but another gun group in California was teaming up with, Planned Parenthood, basically saying like, we're not saying we agree, we're not saying we don't agree, we're just saying we don't want you coming for us next.
I'm just saying practically, if I go, I'm going to turn you in because I don't think you should own that gun, you may go, oh, speaking of that gun, I think I may shoot you before you pick up the phone, versus I'm going to throw my fetus at you. Zygote?
You're saying one would be more likely than the other.
I say one will be more likely than the other.
All right, time will tell.
One
We'll visit the crush remind us in 1 year.
Possess a physical weapon. That's my hunch.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
That's a hunch.
Well, California's not done. The police department in Sacramento held a gun buyback event. Now, just tell me, is this a good thing or a bad thing? They held a gun buyback event, but they weren't, and it was no questions asked, come drop it off. And droves of people came. You know why? You know what they were giving away?
I heard about this.
Gas gift cards.
Oh,
gas
we are so fucked. And there is no money to get around. They're like, here, take my gun. Because they're getting $50 gas gift cards, which, will fill almost all your tank.
Quarter tank.
Apparently, it was so successful, they ran out of gift cards. It was 134 people dropped off firearms for the gift cards.
Well, I don't want to stereotype, but the guys who have all the heat, who have guns to sell back.
They have guns to spare?
Yeah, they came from Temple.
Not driving EVs. You know what I mean? Not big Tesla dudes. I see these guys in older Suburbans. I'm going a little different direction here, but a larger car. More of a gas guzzler type car. Not driving around smart cars, no EVs, no Volts, no Bolts, no Teslas.
Hybrids,
so they need no Leafs. They need fuel.
Yeah,
Bolts are Volts. So.
Right.
So then the question, philosophically, where do you guys think, like when it comes to, gas out here is over $7 in some places. It's nutty. Considering gas, and it's been proposed, but so I have multiple thoughts. One is gas is super expensive. Two, it absolutely disproportionately affects poor people. And it's a pretty simple equation. First off, many people who are well-to-do drive a Tesla or drive something that's a hybrid or drive something that's a pure plug-in or something. So
not only would it affect them less, they've taken themselves out of the game.
Right. Some of these, if you make, the percentage, let's just say Los Angelinos, where gas is knocking on the door of 7 and above 7 in certain places. What percentage of people who make under $40,000 a year in Los Angeles drive an electric vehicle?
And zero.
Okay, close to zero. And then you go, what percentage of rich folk drive electric vehicles? Well, it's a pretty substantial, at least out here in Los Angeles. And then you go, what is the commute? I mean, think about work. I always think about the gardener and the workers with these trucks and their trailers, and they're going to do the tree stuff and whatever. They're all coming in from deep valleys into the Palisades and
teachers,
what have you.
Any daycare worker, they're generally coming from some area other to another area.
And then you kind of go, well, look, yeah, you guys don't need a lesson in this, but if you make $500,000 a year and gas is $7 a gallon, that's X amount, a small percentage of whatever your income is, depending on how much you drive. If you make $40,000 a year and it's $7 a gallon, then it gets into a much higher percentage.
Sure.
It really affects and kicks the fuck out of poor Hispanic gardeners, working people, teachers and stuff, people that have to commute, all the people that can't afford a house in Sherman Oaks.
Ooh, can't work from home.
Right. Live out in Simi Valley, can't work from home, have to go in and stock shelves or drive the forklift or
Serve
whatever
the
it is.
food or whatever.
It just kicks the fuck out of those people. It's a major, increase for them. Our gas is $7. I mean, you turn on the news like it's up to $4.04 national average, or $3.07. We're at $7.10. Could we just drop the tax? Could we just roll it back? Could we just go? We fucked up as a nation. Like, hey, Gavin Newsom, you're killing these poor people. Can you just pull it off the table?
No gas tax until further notice.
Just pull it off the table. We have a surplus,
yes,
income-wise.
Historic surplus.
Yeah, just repeal it. Let people drive. And by the way, when you pull the $1.50 off, they'll still be at $5.35. Yeah. It'll still be higher.
Don't
than
worry,
national.
they'll still be gouged.
Yeah, we don't. It's not 10% higher than if the national average is $4, 10% is $4.40. We're at $7.
Right.
We're climbing toward the 50% range. What about the poor people? You love them so much. Just fucking pull it back.
That would be amazing.
It would be nice. Dawson's got hand movements.
It's been introduced by Kevin Kiley to our state legislature at least 5 times.
But it keeps getting shot down.
Keeps getting shot down. In fact, one time though, the legislators used it to. Said they were going to talk about the gas tax and then used that session to add more taxes.
Well, they're right.
They talked about it.
Here's how that reminds me. All right, so here's the bigger, more nefarious thought, which is certainly in California, I believe this is going on. But nationally, if you hear them speak about gas, there's a lot of well, this is an opportunity for us to transition, so you'll say to whoever chief of, Pete Buttigieg, you go, these gas prices are killing people. And they go, understood. We all feel it, blah, blah, blah. This is underscores the necessity to move on to renewable or whatever. Certainly in California, I don't know that they like it. But I think in their mind, if we can drive more people toward an electric vehicle, it's not a bad thing.
So this is part of the road diet, essentially.
It's kind of, we are influencing people through this thing that we can't say we like, but we're not really doing a lot to get rid of it. So maybe we do kind of enjoy it.
I got some bad news for those guys, because you can throw an electric vehicle onto the long list of things I can't afford in California.
And look, until
I can't afford a house, I can't afford an electric car.
You're already talking to us about rolling blackouts coming this summer. So unless you fucking guys get to work on the grid, I cannot see.
Good luck, Mid-Wilshire.
Be careful what you wish for. You don't want a substantial percentage of your populace making the move to electric cars if we don't have the grid and the infrastructure for it. And by the way, Chris, I think I liked this tweet, but speaking of this, I can't remember if maybe it was Finland. Somebody tweeted me this, but their Green Party in Finland we want nuclear power.
It's clean energy.
Clean. It's good. We need it.
Do it.
We're now down with it.
Okay.
So we'll see how that works. Anyway.
I did think of one silver lining to all of this gas mishigas. Probably not enough money to afford gas for a gas-powered leaf blower.
Oh, that's good.
So that'd be nice. A little quieter.
Molotov cocktails are probably going to be at an all-time low the next time the race riot breaks out.
Right.
There's some upside. You're right.
Remember Josh Duggar?
Yeah.
How he got himself in the little soup over some child porn that he...
Who is he?
The
family that
19
had like
kids
19
and counting
kids.
reality show.
Sure.
And wasn't he the one where they found the porn on his work computer at the auto dealership?
Yeah, auto dealership.
He's a Duggar. He's not like a husband of a Duggar.
No, but I mean, is he the dad Duggar?
Oh,
or
no,
one of the
I think he's the
Duggar
oldest
children?
son.
Oh, the
Or
oldest
at
son.
least the older son. He was sentenced because
Jeez,
we've been talking about this for a
19
while.
You're in a child porn and you got 19 kids living in it. And why would you ever leave the house?
That came up in the trial.
No, it did.
It sure did.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we can leave that at that.
Jesus
Yep.
Christ.
So he's been sentenced to 12 and a half years in prison for receiving child sexual abuse material, including a video that one investigator described among the worst he had ever seen.
He was at the car dealership with all this?
I
on his
thought he
computer?
was.
That's what I thought he was, too.
And he said, anyone could have used my computer. And they're like, no, they couldn't have.
Let me
They
tell you
have records of
something. I've been in
logging in.
many car dealerships. That is the worst place to look at
A lot of
kitty porn.
windows.
It's one big window.
Low cubicle.
Huge open floor plan.
Yeah.
The whole reason I have an Aston Martin that's Aston Martin Racing Green with an oxblood red interior. I went up to the Galpin, Aston Martin, whatever. I ordered the whole car. They give you the fender swatch. They give you the headliner. You get the wood inlays. You put it all on the table. You've never felt like a more, it's
You're a king.
for a poor person from
I-
Valley, it's the
I
greatest day of my
aspire to
life.
that.
You lay down and you go, well, I like the burnt umber or the anthracite, smoked anthracite, and you start laying down the suede.
These aren't
You go,
words.
What are these words?
I had the exterior color, green, Aston Martin Racing Green, and a black interior. Makes sense to me. I was walking out of the car dealer, passing by one of the many offices with the full glass facade. Guy's screensaver on his computer was a British Racing Green 50s Jaguar with a
Naked boy inside.
naked Duggar with a red leather interior on this convertible, like with a kind of Bordeaux looking interior. And I was like walking out and I stopped and I looked at his screensaver and I was like, oh man.
Good heavens.
That is
Yeah.
a British car with a beautiful.
How
and
do you say?
I walked right back up to the Aston Martin showroom thing and I said, scratch it. Give me the red leather.
Very good, sir. Screensaver red.
Right. And which is another funny conversation that I'll tell you in a second. It has to do with red. But the open floor plan, the endless floor to ceiling glass,
people
and
walking
everything, a lot
behind ya.
of traffic, not a good child porn place.
Well, let this be a lesson to you.
Yes, the red, the funny. I have conversations with people all the time, and it never makes sense. But I was at the same dealership some time later, and the guy said, we get these Aston Martins in all different colors. A guy just recently, he picked one up in Viper Red. And I said, they call it Viper Red? And he said, yep. And I said, well, Viper is a sports car made by Dodge. And
Or snake.
you and by the way, if you go to Le Mans in the you in the GT category and your Aston Martin DB9 could be going up against a Dodge Viper. Aston Martin calls their red Viper Red. I don't think they would do that. And he said, that's what it's called. And I said, Aston Martin has named their red after one of their competitors' cars. Call it Viper Red.
Okay.
I said,
That seems so unlikely.
it just, but by the way, it's kind of boring. Aston Martin's a classy company. They would come up with something that ended with violet or
Right.
something.
Little
and
basic.
a parade of violet,
Right.
or not violet, but a parade of crimson parade or something. They'd come up with something.
That's what
good.
I'm on right now.
He's like, it's called Viper Red. The guy's car is called Viper Red. What do you want me to tell you? And I said, I understand you work at this dealership. And I understand you ordered this car. And I understand it says Viper Red. I refuse to believe that Aston Martin calls their red Viper Red because that's who they compete against at Le Mans. And he goes, it's called Viper Red. And then after about 20 minutes of going around, he went, oh, so you order your car from the dealership or you order your car from the factory, they'll paint it any color you want. This customer wanted his Aston Martin painted
In the
Viper
Viper, yeah.
Red, which is
It's the
the color
Viper
of his
color.
Viper.
Right.
And then I said, fine.
That's great.
But
Time well
we could have prevented this but you wouldn't allow it.
All right. Well, can I go back to Rogan's news then? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't know if anyone else was watching the Johnny Depp trial. I feel like I'm the only one, but it might be coming to a conclusion now. They did have supermodel Kate Moss, who dated Johnny Depp from 1994 to 1998, testify for Depp in the defamation trial. So Moss basically volunteered and wanted to set the record straight because she was asked about a rumor that Depp pushed her down a flight of stairs when they were on vacation in Jamaica one year, which Amber Heard referenced during her testimony. That was that thing, I don't know if you saw, it was a ton of memes and videos. I can't remember the reason, but she wasn't allowed to reference Kate Moss. And when she did, Depp's side cheered and pumped their fists.
It's not that she's not allowed too, because I talked to Gargos about this. If you're going to bring something up, it is now in this
play.
case. It's now in play. So if you get sued and you say to your lawyer or you say to the other lawyer, well, I've mapped out a whole time sequence to when they go, oh, you have?
Let's see
We'd
it.
like to see that.
Yeah.
And you go, well, that's mine. And they go, well, you brought it up.
it's
And now
evidence.
it's evidence and it's in.
That makes perfect.
So she
okay.
brought it up.
Perfect sense.
And once she brought it up, they went, oh, good, now she's
Let's
in.
grab Kate, get her take.
Right.
So Moss testified on Skype or whatever, she was in Gloucester, that she fell down the stairs because it was raining and Depp ran back to help her and carried her up the stairs and she was crying. Here is Moss's definitive answer as to whether she was abused by Depp in that way.
Did Mr. Depp push you in any way down the stairs?
No.
During the course of your relationship, did he ever push you down any stairs?
No. He never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs.
Time has been kind to Kate Moss.
Oh, she looks great.
brand new.
Johnny Depp also took the stand
Hold
again.
on. You got to find, I just looked at the lawyer. I think it's his frames that did it. But the lawyer from The Simpsons, not Lionel Hutz.
Oh, yeah.
But
Your Honor, this is clearly a violation of my...
yeah, didn't that guy look like
Yes,
that
he
guy?
Does, yes, he does. That guy has blue hair? Either way, it's just that guy.
It is that guy.
This is clearly a violation.
The glasses are very Anna Wintour. They're not very masculine.
Is it pronounced
Wintour?
Or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gay.
Yeah,
Who
you
are
almost got me
talking
there.
Ryan?
You almost got me there.
Which Simpson is she? Yeah, find the Simpson lawyer and don't give me Lionel Hutz.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
There we go. Now we have that guy.
That doesn't sound legit.
You sound like him.
We need that guy juxtaposed to the guy that just talked to Kate Moss. And look, here's how you know he never punched Kate Moss. She'd be dead. I mean, she was 80 pounds the whole time they were
Vaporized.
together. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Amber did not take the stand again because she didn't. I don't think she did very well in the court of public opinion. But Depp did hop back up there for one more round of testimony.
Depp seems like he's enjoying himself.
He does like to smirk and like to, yeah.
Is it going his way? Do you have a
I think
consensus?
so.
on-
Seems to be.
I think so.
And he's waving to the crowd when he leaves. And
playing with
Getting
house money.
flowers, bouquets, the big fans out there.
Broadway.
So here's a clip of Depp's testimony reacting to the effect that Heard's accusations have had on him, and this is half of it. He has a lot more adjectives than I'm going to play.
Horrible. Ridiculous, humiliating,
hold on a second.
ludicrous.
Started from the top again. I have a theory. Let's take it from the top.
Horrible.
All right, you can pause it. Maybe the reason this trial's taking 45 days is because he takes 10 minutes in between words.
He does do
How was
that.
lunch, Johnny?
Horrible.
Oh, so it wasn't,
Dry.
Oh,
Tasteless.
so it wasn't good?
It was not what I desired.
It's disappointing.
Horrible.
Not what you expected.
Tried.
Okay.
I don't know how you could cross-examine him because he takes 10 minutes.
True.
We might be able to wrap this whole thing up in 3 days if those guys would fucking get a metronome and get moving a little bit.
To your point, why do you think I'm not playing the whole clip? There are so many pauses. We're just saying this is the back end of his adjectives.
But I do feel like he's asserted himself as a much more skilled actor than Amber Heard.
Also, the interesting thing is anyone, including Amber Heard, especially Amber Heard, who's testifying on behalf of Amber, along with Amber, addresses all of the answers to the jury as opposed to whoever's talking to them. And as a person watching from home, I don't think it plays very well. I don't know if the jury's like, stop looking at me.
Did you see the psychiatrist who they brought up
The
there?
crazy guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Yeah.
Listen,
Whose witness was it?
people think
Amber's.
I'm on the spectrum.
Yeah.
What this guy's an
had some
insult
ticks.
to anyone who's on the spectrum of Asperger's.
Well, you only
and
want to talk about tires?
rims and tires. This guy was. I have no idea why you would want to put him.
Because that might have been the only expert you could find that sided with you. Because he was
Wow.
like, this hasn't changed my opinion one iota.
He was chomping.
Yeah.
And we're not exaggerating.
You
He-
can find it easily, but let's
right, let's
get
watch it.
Johnny's full, at least
All right.
half of his full view on what this has done to him.
Ridiculous, humiliating, ludicrous, painful, savage,
Savage.
unimaginably brutal, cruel, and all false. All false.
Now, it's interesting because I've watched a lot of this, and he is no angel. I mean, he clearly has some very serious addiction problems. At least that's what they're presenting. And he would probably be a royal pain in the ass to be married to. But it seems that what they've presented is a woman who also has issues, who is sort of taking advantage of some of his less lucid states, perhaps. And I think that's my totally uninformed guess on how the jury is going to find this.
Yeah, whenever they do it. I mean,
Well, this could be the last day. Well, thank God.
I talked to Garagos about this yesterday. I said, how much does it cost to do this? Like how? And he's like, $500,000 a week to
Jesus.
your lawyers minimum before expenses. You know what I mean?
Expert witnesses and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the lawyers are like, hey, here's my billable hours. And then they go, and by the way,
We got
there's
lunch every day.
37 other people at the office you got to pay for it.
Right.
Like, this is just my hours. He's like, $500K a week.
This has been
to put this
22
thing
days.
on. I know. And I keep saying to him, who the fuck is paying for this? Who's Amber Heard's paying? And he said he thinks it's insurance.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Wwhose insurance?
Her insurance.
Or like homeowners insurance.
Yeah.
covers-
How does that work?
I have no
Because-
fucking idea.
Great question.
But I would love to know. I wish I could
got
have
questions.
handled my, a Texas lawsuit.
Yeah, your homeowner's insurance.
With with the patent trolls.
Yeah, that's right.
Covers earthquake, flood, and patent trolls.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean, that's his, I've asked him 3 times, who is paying for Amber Heard? And he's like, insurance.
That's interesting because
That's
she
the only
said,
thing he can think of. No one would take it on contingency.
well, she said on the stand, when they were grilling her about not donating the money that she was supposed to donate, and said, I would be able to if Johnny would stop suing me. So that's what she claimed, that it's out of her pocket. Who knows? Also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Ellen Barkin gave testimony for Amber's side, which was really kind of interesting. And I mean, maybe a 30-year-old relationship for a couple months, like back in the day.
Ellen and Amber?
And Johnny, sorry.
Oh, Johnny.
Oh.
And she testified that it was very tumultuous, a lot of drink, abuse of alcohol,
What a
very
beautiful
erratic.
child that would have been.
Yeah.
They see, but also for Johnny, for the jurors, I mean, you got to be swayed a little when he's like, all right, next up, we're bringing the Swedish bikini team. They saw Johnny for a while. Simply, look, it was consensual, but it was obviously sexual.
Called the stand
For-
was
for many
January,
teams.
February, and March.
We're going to bring the Raiderettes up here after lunch. Like, every single hot chick he's plowed in Hollywood is now up there defending him.
Yeah. I mean, Ellen was on Amber's side, but she's looking very distinguised these days.
Right. Oh, she's had
she's
some
an
work
older
done.
lady, and she, is,
You have those attorneys?
Here we go.
Oh, man.
There you go. Well done, sir.
Even the parts in the same place.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Same mouth.
Look, this guy could have watched The Simpsons, could have fallen asleep to The Simpsons when he was in law school or something.
That's
and
a lawyer.
And just went, and, woke up like, I got an idea for frames and glasses. All right, so.
All right. Aerosmith frontman Steven Tyler entered a treatment program following.
Wait, we got Ellen Barkin?
Yeah.
Or we gonna see her?
I mean, we
Johnny
can. They
Depp
can look
boned
for it.
Steven Tyler too.
That's right. That's why he's
That's how
rehab.
prolific he is.
Yeah, the Ellen Barkin one I'm sure is findable. Just let me know if you.
Oh no, I'd rather have crazy psychiatrist guy. That
Me
guy
too.
He's
Okay,
flapping
yeah.
chomping his flappers and
There's a
mussing with his
supercut of
hair.
it, too.
Yeah, he has to be all over the internet, Max Betta. He's the crazy
He's
one.
TikTok famous now.
Sorry.
So while they find that, Steven Tyler in rehab after a recent relapse, prompting the band to put their upcoming Vegas residency on hold.
I was just never thought about this, but the dude looks like a lady. Methinks thou protest too much.
Indeed.
He's talking to the mirror.
Yeah.
He is talking. That is
Singing to a hairbrush.
That is a lady right
Yeah.
there. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
That song hasn't held up well.
And by the way, talk about rockin'. He's 74.
I know.
Sometimes you just got to go back to rehab. He underwent foot surgery on Tuesday, and in preparation for the band's return to the stage, and in managing his pain, suffered a relapse.
There's some guys
It's
who
Tuesday?
treat relapse like women treat plastic surgery, where it's like, I just wanted to get back in and take care of a couple of things, a little eye work.
Little tune-up.
Just a little tune-up. Like, they have that relationship with
Loose
it.
ends.
Yeah.
Yeah, to what end? A statement which was shared on Instagram says, as many of you know, our beloved brother Steven has worked on his sobriety for many years after foot surgery to prepare for the tour and pain management, recently relapsed and voluntarily entered treatment to concentrate on his health and recovery. Aerosmith said they will subsequently be canceling the June and July dates of the Deuces Are Wild residency, which was slated to begin at Dolby at Park MGM on June 17th.
In Vegas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I would be a horrible bandmate because when you cancel that show, Stromer's wife put that whole thing, did all the...
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so you have inside info.
Well, she's quite the accomplished. I guess she was like a choreographer, and then she made into stage and
Amazing.
put all the big sets together and designs all this stuff. So
Sure.
she said, you do something like that, and you got to be looking at several $100,000 a week, and
Again.
maybe more, and enough to pay for a trial. And,
For example.
so Steven rolls his ankle, has got to get a little surgery, and he's like, and I took a few too many Vicodin. Let's just go ahead and cancel those shows. And I'd be like, get one of those walking boots. And
Throne.
Foo Fighters, exactly.
Rock and
Sit
roll
a throne.
throne.
listen, if I see you reaching for a Michelob backstage, I'll slap it out of your hand. But
Billy
got
Idol
this.
pulled it off. I don't know why
yeah,
you did it.
show's kind of got to go on, buddy.
Do you think she has any inside info on Adele?
Oh, Mrs. Stromer. God, I don't know. I'll ask Eric next.
That'd
time
be interesting because
I see him.
that was kind of a shit show and like a who's telling the truth situation on why that whole thing was
She was
canceled.
blaming everyone but herself.
Right.
We have Dr. Spiegel, psychiatrist.
Yeah, this is the cut that's kind of been going around.
Brian, you tell me how Asperger's this guy looks.
Everyone's a little confused. What's wrong with them?
Is that
Johnny's leaning in.
Your Honor?
You have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was a lot of that lip smacking and
Yeah, and a lot of Depp's
Tics.
reactions.
Yeah,
too.
it seems like he has tics,
Yeah.
Tourette's kind of thing, or even like sensory issues.
Not the guy you'd want to put up there in your defense.
He doesn't strike you as competent. I mean,
well,
he
yeah,
probably is. but-
he's the psychological expert for Amber's side about what a mess Johnny is. So it was a little.
He's basically the guy from Independence Day when they go down to the bunker in Area
Weiner.
51. And he's got all that gray hair. He's like, I haven't seen people in a long. Oh,
Do you want to see it?
humanity.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, like kind of strikes me. He may know his business.
Yeah, but
Right.
but the
does it play?
bedside manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I never thought I'd say this before. I'm glad you brought up tics, Brian.
Oh.
Billy Eilish has pulled back the curtain on a very personal issue in a new interview with David Letterman on his Netflix show, talking at length about having Tourette's.
Oh.
She was first diagnosed with a condition at 11. She told Letterman that she loves answering questions about it because it's interesting, but she's also incredibly confused by it. She does admit that there's one way to go to get her to go silent on the topic if you start laughing, even if you're uncomfortable or whatever. She doesn't want to, be a part of that. But here's a clip of her talking about the tics she has with Letterman, and not as noticeable as the last clip we saw.
Do they dissipate for a period of time?
Yeah.
Do they remit?
Yeah, they sometimes. I mean, they don't ever I never don't tic at all, because the main tics that I do constantly all day long are I wiggle my ear back and forth and raise my eyebrow and click my jaw and do that and like flex my arm here and flex this arm and flex these muscles. These are things you would never notice, if you're just having a conversation with me. But for me, they're very exhausting.
Wow.
Constantly working out.
Yeah.
Flexing.
Yeah.
Remember those ab machines where it's equivalent to 7,000 sit-ups?
Yep.
And this guy's watching TV while he straps the
This-
Abenizer
yeah, right.
to him.
How'd those work out?
Got a 9-volt battery hanging off a cord. But it's all about, pardon the pun, our wiring. You're equivalent to 9,000 sit-ups.
I'm
and
listening.
that guy's just watching Jeopardy. Oh, man. That's
Can't wait to get
fucking
that
awesome.
sweet beach bath.
Yeah.
I just tangentially related. You guys ever done, and if you haven't, you might be doing it soon, E-stim?
Oh, yeah.
The E-stim, they put electrodes on you, to activate your muscles. They did a lot for me in early physical therapy.
They do it after car
You might do it with
accidents.
your hand,
Yeah.
to kind of stimulate the muscles of your hand so you can get them working again.
I hated that thing.
They can turn it up to 11 and it
Yeah.
hurts like shit.
It hurts
It's like
and
your
really?
muscles being twisted.
It's exactly.
Stimulates them.
Yeah,
They put these electrodes on all over
Ideally,
it.
you dial it into 5.5, and it kind of it
Pulses,
activates your
yeah.
muscles. Whereas
Right.
there's
It
no
fucking
activity.
sucks. I know people who love it. I guess you love the results from it. But when I would go in to do it after the car accident, that's when that dude kissed my back. I hated the feeling of it. I hated it. It didn't even hurt. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies. But yeah, you might have it.
Never done it.
If they crank it all the way, it feels like an extreme cramp.
Yes.
And is it that's the ab buster technology?
I
but
imagine
an
there's some
actual version of
crossover.
it?
Yeah, this is to stimulate muscles that are not responsive.
What happened to the thing where the lady just lays back on that thing and the little
rubber band?
The little rubber band shakes her butt back and forth.
That was like a 50s, 60s
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, that was a full leather
Yeah.
strap.
I want that.
That was a good one. I'll tell you the one that was ubiquitous. There's two pieces of exercise equipment that were ubiquitous when I was growing up, one of which did nothing like the butt shimmy strap. The other was a full-blown workout, and I don't think anyone ever used it the way it should have been used. But if you did, you would be shredded. The one was the twister. You just stood on top of this platform and just moved your arms and did the chubby checker. It was just... It was like a relish go round at a smorgasbord
Right.
or something.
Like a lazy Susan.
It was a lazy Susan. You just stood on it and you just twisted back and forth. And I don't even know what's called whammo twister or
Your
something.
legs go one way, your
Well, they have
torso with the other.
those slide boards now. Do you have one?
No,
thought
but
you
I
did.
don't know.
But you do that and it just slides in place. It
I
looks
have
like a
the one. I
skateboard
have the one with
almost.
the cylinder in the middle of it.
Oh,
but
maybe
that's
a balance.
different.
No,
Oh, okay.
Gina's talking about almost ice skating side to side.
Right. Well, it's like I was doing it at Target. That's why I know it exists, and I saw it on Shark Tank.
The weird twister thing everyone had, and even my mom had one, and my mom also, I think, had this one, which would work the shit out of you, but nobody ever did it. That wheel with the two bike grips next to it. If you want to get down on your knees and go full extension and roll back up and roll back out
The
again.
obliques like a Greek god.
Yes. But
don't like it?
Nobody wanted that one. Those were the two. They're both $9. You could get them anywhere.
If you're not in shape already, you can't even do one.
No, I know.
I've tried.
I know, but there was that weird wheel.
Yep.
It was the same. It was a slightly larger wheel, but the same wheel you'd find on a push lawnmower, like back in the day, or actually a power lawnmower, and then that weird twister. See if you can find what that thing is called, Max. I'll have a flashback. It's like 70s, 60s. Twister, exerciser, platform. It's essentially a 1 foot by 1 foot piece of wood with one of those ball bearing Lazy Susan things on it.
This is what I'm talking about. I guess it's called a fit board.
Oh,
and
you
stabilize it and you just twist as much as you can.
Yeah, the worst exercise ever. Brian may remember this. Remember the rocking horse from football?
Is that this thing?
You lay on your face on the grass. Take your
pulled
hands, pull them behind your back, kick your legs up, and rock.
You rock on your belly.
Is that how to get yourself out of a fucking...
No, it's how to torture yourself.
Prisoner of war?
Twist away was this thing? Yeah. Is this from like the 70s? Oh, it's Jack LaLanne. Look at this guy. Let's hear what he has to say about this.
Twist away, twister for you.
Oh, she's in a dress.
She's wearing a onesie.
Look at
this is
See,
it.
She's firming her upper body here with the isometric cord. Now she's firming up the waist, the hips, the thigh, something to tone and firm, and to exercise and condition practically all the 600 muscles in the body. Something that's so relaxing. What a therapy.
Relaxing.
You can do it in the morning, in the evening, and you don't have to disrobe, and everyone will love it.
In your
game, you
hose.
can have so much fun. How do you like it, Elaine?
Oh, it's lots of fun. Everybody should have one.
Okay, now let's talk about you and your Christmas shopping right now. If you want to buy one twist-away twister, it costs you $4.95. Now, that's a big saving, plus 50 cents to cover postage and handling. Now, as I said, what a wonderful gift. So, for every twister you get over 2, it costs you $4 each, plus 50 cents to cover postage and handling. If you buy one, $4.95.
I miss Jack
LaLanne.
Making money.
2 or more,
God
only
bless.
$4 each.
I know what
God
I was
bless
getting for
Jack.
Christmas.
I want that. I think it looks like a great time.
I've been to the man's house.
Yeah.
God bless him. He was Jack LaLanne through and through to the very end. No sense of humor. I just went over there and made fun of him. Did
he know it?
I don't know what he knew. We had a great time. I spent the whole day with Jack LaLanne and Elaine LaLanne.
I love that.
His wife, who was in there. But
That was Elaine?
He said, "How's it feel, Elaine?"
I didn't even notice.
So that's Elaine LaLanne. She was there. He was there. He was probably 93 at the time, still in amazing shape. And it was a man show bit. Well, maybe we'll show it tomorrow or something. But he was fun, very sincere. But the thing about Jack that you have to give him this. He would always wear the jumpsuits. Always had the jumpsuit. And if you look at it, he not only wears a jumpsuit, but he wears those weird kind of gymnast ballerina slippers. If you show it, he's wearing ballerina slippers. Now, when guys are 5'5.5", they'll try to buy themselves an inch. Now, sometimes they go, full Bonaducci with a biker boot or something.
Or just put a lift in your shoe.
But they usually won't give it away.
Right.
He has 1/8 of an inch of fabric between his foot and the floor. He's a short dude, and he says, "Fuck y'all. I'm wearing ballerina shoes." What are those? Let me see it. Sorry, Max Bad. Don't ever wear those, by the way.
We're loading back up.
We'll see him again, but and we will find you that man show.
And
next
speaking
time.
of pitchmen, that Ron Popeil, Ron Cohair is working for him. It is jet black.
He used to celebrate his birthday every year. Do you remember that big deal? Oh, we'll do a dive on him tomorrow. His whole thing was.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Who?
Jack LaLanne. Okay. He's like, I'm celebrating my birthday, my 80th birthday. I'm swimming to Catalina. And I'm dragging a family of Puerto Ricans in a rowboat.
Oh boy!
When the rope's going to be in my mouth.
Oh my God!
And I'm swimming to Catalina. Wow. Like, you don't remember his crazy challenges?
No.
He is absolutely wearing ballet slippers.
Yes, and he's shorter than his wife, who's standing on a sit and spin.
Wow.
All right, sorry. You know what? For tomorrow, Max Spada over here now. His birthday challenges were like crazy. It was always, I'm going into the harbor and I'm going to drag something with my teeth. They're crazy.
I'm not aware of these. Was this local?
Never heard of this. It was right before our time.
Just 10 seconds. Just look up, Jack LaLanne's birthday challenges.
He pulled 70 boats on his 70th birthday.
What?
In the harbor, once again.
Is this going to be Vinny in 20 years?
Maybe 9 years.
I'm seeing push-up challenges and things like that. We'll pull one up.
He was his 80th birthday. I'm going to do 80 push-ups in under a minute. Like, that was his whole...
I love it. Where would this air?
It was kind of back when
on.
What would be in the newspaper and then local news. Fitness man Jack LaLanne celebrates his birthday with a 2-minute roll-in bit.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah, we're down at the Santa Monica Pier, and that's no dolphin. That's Jack LaLanne. It's 75th birthday, tugging 200 people in a boat. Oh, wait, here he is.
Hugh Hazard must have been at these.
Yeah.
But he's used to challenges. Remember, this is the guy who swam across the San Francisco Bay. The one who at age 60 swam from Alcatraz Island, handcuffed and shackled, to Fisherman's Wharf while towing a half-ton boat. Today, the task of towing 70 people on board 70 rowboats 1 mile on birthday number 70 in water between 60 and 70 degrees. A piece of cake, right?
I haven't eaten any of that stuff since I've been 15 years old. I was a full-blown sugarholic till I was 15 years old. I committed myself, and that was it.
Once again, he was handcuffed and shackled, moving at a half-mile-an-hour clip. It would be more than 2 hours before it would be all over. In between start and finish, cheers and encouragement from friends and his wife, Elaine.
What about his 71st birthday? Any more feats? Or is this
I hope not. Don't you get tired of this every other year?
Jack was a delight to live with.
I mean, he'd get out of the water and be like, I got to start training for 71. I'm going to juggle 71 orphans.
I can't scold him now. I couldn't do that. I love him too much.
Is this thing moving?
Go, Jack, go, his long-term
All
friends
right.
yelled.
Anyway, he was always a stunt. I don't know. He died at 96 or 7 or something. He didn't die that much longer after what year did he?
He died in 2011.
Oh.
Wow.
Clean living.
Not in the middle of a stunt, I hope.
No. Yes, he celebrated his
Pneumonia.
99th birthday by staying in a coffin forever.
Being buried 6 feet.
91 of you are going to join me. Did you hear the pop? Shotgun pump.
Pulls a pin.
Pulls a pin on a grenade. All right.
He was 96, died of pneumonia. According to his family, he was sick for a week but refused to see a doctor.
All right, we got to get into him and that man show bit tomorrow because there's a lot to unpeel about Jack LaLanne. All right, we bring it home?
Let's do it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, you can go to Denver to the TOS Con. That'll be June 23rd. I'll be speaking there. Use the code Carolla for 15% off. And Sonny will be with me, working, saying hi afterward. Then we head on off to Comedy Works South, June 24th and 25th. And Sonny will be working that merch table there and eating a little surf and turf in the back. We'll do some live stand-up there and some live pods there as well. You just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. You can pre-order my new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. It'll be available July 19th. It's one of my better ones. I think you're going to laugh. I want to thank Marissa Rendazzo. I screwed myself up. Marissa Rendazzo, and she's also Mark Zimmerman for joining us and giving us some really interesting insights into their field of expertise. Until next time, it's Adam for Mark and Marissa and Gina and Bald saying Mahala. We're wired that way as human beings to kind of look the other way for many of the killings that just take place that are almost sadly routine nationally on a weekly and daily basis, and then something grabs our consciousness and everyone snaps into action, or at least attempts to snap into action.